Good evening, folks. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope you're having a pleasant day. I just thought I'd come on tonight and we need to talk about some things. First of all, let's start with the weather. Personally, I think Mother Nature needs some Prozac right now. Do you know yesterday, actually Monday, it was almost 60 degrees. Keep that in mind. Yesterday morning, it was still in the 50s. As the day progressed, it got really overcast. Temperatures started to take a nosedive. I got some weather alerts. I went on my YouTube weatherman, Ryan Hall, y'all. Love that guy. He will stay online watching whatever's going on, whether it be blizzards, hurricanes, tornadoes, and he will stay online live as long as there is activity, dangerous activity, so that he could warn people. Many, many, many people, thousands, hundreds of thousands, watch him because he is so specific with towns and projection of who might be in danger. And a lot of municipalities watch him for their own safety. That's how popular is. He's gotten awards. He's wonderful. Yes, I'm promoting his weather channel. I watch him religiously when I know there's active weather. And last night, I'm going to tell you what, in all the southern states down from Illinois, um, from, well, it started across Kansas, I think, and then it went to Missouri and Arkansas and Oklahoma. And I mean, just all the down states, tornadoes that normally there was so much activity, it was crazy. Anyway, he stayed on all night long because there was tornadoes moving across from, right below the Missouri line all the way, all the states. New Orleans, Baton Rouge got hit, New Orleans, and then Mississippi, and then it just kept going, Gulfport, and it just kept going. It was just so anyway, I saw this deterioration in my weather in Illinois, and I'm watching the temperatures. Winds started picking up, and I thought, okay, we're not going to get the sideline winds, but something's going on. All of a sudden, I am hearing downpours. I mean, downpours of rain. I'm like, okay, well, I could put up with that, you know. We weren't really supposed to get anything except gusty winds. They said we could get gusty winds up to 50 mile an hour. Okay, that's fine. And this morning I woke up, and now by late morning it was supposed to end, right? Oh no, it dropped all the way down to 31 degrees. from upper 50s, it dropped all the way down to 31 degrees, and that rain turned into snow. So I'm looking out my back door, and this afternoon, I'm looking out my back door, and the whole backyard is white. And I'm like, what in the hell? And then I go on my weather app and I'm looking at the extended weather. Do you know tomorrow it's supposed to be back up into the upper 40s? And by Monday, we're supposed to be 70 degrees. It's crazy, crazy weather. That's why I said I think Mother Nature needs to go on Prozac. I don't know whether to go out in a t-shirt or whether to go out in a hoodie or whether to grab the damn winter coat. But anyway, I thought I'd go off on that rant. So let's go over a few things. Let's start out with last night's state of, what do you call it? State of the Union? State of the House? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, Trump talked and it was mandated that both parties were there and he was given his address. And it seemed very nice. I mean, you know how everybody after almost every sentence stands up and applauds or, starts chanting USA, USA. Anyway, a lot of that went on. If any of you did not catch it, a lot of that went on. And then, of course, he recognized a 12-year-old little boy that has been battling brain cancer, and all that little boy ever wanted to be was a police officer. So his local police department, they awarded him because he's still battling this brain cancer. And according to the doctors, he wasn't supposed to live beyond last year. But that's what a little fighter this little boy was, and it was just my heart goes out to this child and his parents, I'm telling you. But anyway, they were invited to this State of the Union, and he had his little police uniform on, it with a badge, and that his community law enforcement gave, and it was really heartwarming. And then President Trump awarded him as a new member of Secret Service. So who's ever in charge of that came up. I don't know names. I'm not that politically correct. Anyway, the one that's in charge of the Secret Service, he went up to this little boy, and the father held the little boy up, and he gave him his own badge for the Secret Service, his own ID credential. And the little boy just dove into his arms and gave him a hug. It was just adorable. Here's the thing. Of course, all the Republicans, they all stood up, tears, clapping. Everybody was just heartwarmed by this little boy, and grin from ear to ear, and the father was just so grateful. You could see the gratitude. And then you look over to the other side of the room where the Democrats were sitting, and they were like this. Yes, lips pierced, hands crossed. Some held up signs, Elon Steels. Other held up um other kind of signs. It I never saw so much hatred, so much disrespect. And then you've got Representative Al Green from Texas. From Texas, right? He's Democrat. He was raising his cane and heckling Trump. And Speaker Johnson, he took his gallows and he's banging on it. And he called for them to remove Al Green from the room. And he was escorted out of the room in the meantime, because you don't do that. That's against the rules of the chamber. Y- There is no heckling. There is no screaming out of turn. And they're not supposed to be holding up those signs. But they let that slip. And then get this, the women were wearing pink for women's rights. Okay. Where was the right of Laken Riley, who was murdered, tortured in the worst way, and killed by an illegal? Where was her right? She was a woman, a young lady. And then you had Jordan, the other girl, who was brutally tortured and murdered by another illegal. Where were their rights? While these Democrats are sitting there so smug with their signs and their pierced lips and wearing pink for women's rights. A little hypocritical, just a little. That about made me sick. And then with this beautiful little boy that's battling brain cancer, they couldn't even show any compassion, nothing, nothing. They didn't even turn their head to look at that child. They were just sitting there staring straight ahead. Nothing. I was so pissed by the time I got done watching that. It was the most I don't even have the right word for it. It was the most deranged thing I had ever watched. And then there was some other things. James Wood made a good post, and I thought this was quite classic. The human traffickers who sat on their hands last night, all Democrats, of course, hate Elon Musk with the same rancid bile in their fat guts as they have for the most popular president in history. And all because he and President Trump are closing the USAID pig trough. Here is but a small list of the grift highlights Elon is closing down. Brace yourselves. 22 billion from HHS for free housing and cars for the illegals. While we have all the homeless veterans, people getting kicked out of their homes because they can't make the payments, people living in their cars and their vans. That's if those aren't repossessed. But let's worry about other people coming in the border first. All right. Sorry. I'll go on. 45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma. 40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. 8 million to promote LGBTQI plus in African nation of Lesotho. Lesotho. I'm sorry, Africa. I don't mean to butcher the name of your community. 8 million for LGBTQ plus I plus, sorry. 60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. 8 million to make mice transgender. Mice. I guess they have rights too. 32 million for left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. 10 million for circumcisions in, boy, am I going to butcher this, Mozambique. 20 million for Arab Sesame Street program. 1.9 million to decarbonization of homes committee led by Stacey Abrams. 1.9 million. Keep that in mind. 3.9 million for lavish fish monitoring. I don't know about you, but I'll take 3.9 million to watch fish swim. Just saying. 1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. Why do we care how they vote? I guess we do now. 14 million for social cohesion in Bali. 59 million for illegal hotel rooms in New York City. 59 million of your taxpayer dollars for illegal hotel rooms in New York City. All of this is your tax dollars. Keep that in mind. 250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. Zambia. 42 million for social and behavioral change in Uganda. 14 million for approving public procurement in Serbia. 47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. 101 million for DEI contract at the DOE, Department of Education. Yeah. Democrats are losing their minds. But life is beautiful, says James Woods. And then our president, Donald J. Trump, today, breaking. Elon Musk just announced Doge will launch an investigation into federal employees with unusually high net worth despite modest salaries. Please, with my blessing, Elon, have at it. JD Vance announcing breaking. Jim Jordan introduces a new bill that would require American born citizenship for both the presidency and the Congress. And of course, look at who they're showing. The squad. Yeah, they need to go. I'd like to know. I'd really like to know. Somebody please let me know. I'm sure if anybody watches this video, you will let me know. Elon. Not Elon. Omar. What's it? Island. I don't know her name. The one that's. Can you please tell me how she marries her brother to become a U.S. citizen and then is immediately put as a representative in Congress? Can you tell me how that works? Because I've been a U.S. citizen for 70 years. And I've never even been to Washington, D.C. So how do you come from wherever she comes from, Iran? I don't know where she comes from. But she married her brother to become a U.S. citizen. Anyway, yeah, there's that. And then listen to this. Back to Stacey Abrams. She tried to steal $2 billion of our taxpayer dollars. This isn't mismanagement, it's fraud. And everyone involved should be put in prison, as per Representative Mike Collins. And that, my friends, is why you and I are paying the highest taxes ever. That is why inflation is skyrocketing. That's why your property taxes, in some cases, have doubled. That's why the prices of food is where it's at. That's why we see our friends, family, and us struggling to make it paycheck to paycheck for many. because of that, because of all of that. And yet when Donald Trump stands at his podium and talks about his plans to bring the economy back to a livable level, the Democrats look at him with pure hatred in their eyes, vile hatred, and hold up their little signs. Al Green heckling him, waving a cane. And this is what they do. I have never seen anything like it. Never, ever seen anything like it. When Obama was elected into office, I don't recall the Republicans acting so hateful toward him. I don't recall Congress being so disrespectful when they sat on the other side of the Democrats. I don't recall them acting like that at all. Even when Joe Biden, well, I don't know, he didn't give too many speeches, but even when he went and spoke, now once or twice, I don't recall the Republicans treating him the way these people are acting toward Trump. I you know, some people talk about Trump deranged syndrome. And boy, I'm telling you what, there's a lot to be said for TDS. Because if it didn't show the people in this country and other countries that were able to watch just how there is a total disconnect from one side to the other. And you know, the worst part about the whole thing, regardless what side you're on, regardless who you like, who you don't like, we all live in the same country. We all stand for the United States of America. We all say the same Pledge of Allegiance. We all sing the national anthem because we love our country. There is no other country like this one throughout the whole world. So why do we get such hate on the other side of the aisle? Do they really hate this country that much that they're going to take all their hatred out on this country, on we the people, because they hate that man so bad? It's unbelievable with the history that I've lived through, and my memory only goes back to the JFK days because he was elected in what, 1960, and I was 6 years old. I don't remember the previous president. I think it was Eisenhower, I don't know. But I've lived through a lot of presidents. I've never seen anything like this. Never. I do remember not liking LBJ. Do you know why I didn't like LBJ? Keep in mind, I was a little girl when he took over when JFK was assassinated. The reason I didn't like LBJ was because I had heard on the news that he raised beagles and he used to pick them up by the ears. And I'm such an animal lover, such a dog lover, that just made me so mad as a little girl to imagine picking your dog up by its ears. And that's why I hated LBJ. That's about as political as I got. You're being mean to beagles. Oh, now look what's happening to beagles with one particular doctor who sticks their head in cages full of mosquitoes and lets the mosquitoes eat them alive. I might be going too far with that. Anyway, okay, I just thought I'd vent a little bit, go over a few things, bring some statistics to light, tell you about our wonderful weather. And oh, please, last night's tornadoes, for all of you that were affected by those, maybe got some damage by those. I know one of the storm chasers, his car was damaged, a tree fell on it, and it was damaged. But for those that you live in those areas that were affected last night, my thoughts are with you. I hope and pray that nobody was injured. I hope and pray your homes were okay. And, you know, I think we've all have had our fill with weather disasters. I think we're well overdue with that. Just done. It's been a lot. Some people say intentional. Some people say no. Only God knows. And if that's the one you've got to answer to, be it intentional, well, that's that person's problem, not ours. We just have to be aware. Don't be scared. Be safe. Because if you're scared, you can't be level headed. If you've got a weather system moving through. And stuff like this that I read through to you tonight, Don't fixate on it so much. I just wanted to make you aware. The thing about it is, we don't control the purse. We gotta pay the purse, but we don't see every little detail. We're being told some really good stuff, but it's out of our control. Once we pay it, those taxes, we can't fixate on this. We can't let it drag us down. We can't let it tear up our guts. It's out of our control. That's when we have to put our faith in God. That's when we have to put our faith in our president. Because if anybody's going to get to the bottom of this, it's going to be him. It's probably why the Democrats hated him so bad last night. We got Elon Musk. Obviously, he's finding it. So let's keep our faith. Let's keep our faith up. Stay prayed up and stay aware. Please, please hit that like button. Please just hit that like button. It helps the algorithms and it sends out my video to other people that don't. Any and all likes that are on this video will help push my videos forward. That's all I ask. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Subscribe, please. And if you really like to listen to my videos, click the little bell icon and you'll get a notification when I come on. Okay? I really enjoyed talking to you. And I'll keep digging. I'll keep looking. If I get any updates, you'll be the first to know. You have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday night. Be safe. Know that I love you and care about you, or I wouldn't be doing this. Have a good night.